Hi, I'm Neil Sackmary.
Hi, I'm State Trooper Sean Hagstrom with the Nevada State Police Highway Patrol Division, PEIO. Please stay tuned for the next episode of Trooper Talk.
And together, we can make a difference. Here we are live at the 360 Vegas studios with another edition of Trooper Talk. We have Officer McClarty here, and we have PIO Hagstrom here. We talked to the one officer, the one trooper, right? What, 252 DUI arrests last year or something? I forget the number, but it was ludicrous. It just didn't make sense, right? That, like, he's out there and he's doing this. And so this drives certain individuals that they're out there, and that's something that you have in the heart. And so when it comes to you putting on the badge, you put on your badge every day and get in your car, and you take that job seriously because that's your life. And that's what's very important. And that's what we want people to realize when it comes to the critical fill, when it comes to the lateral moves, if that's what they'd like to do, you know, from a different agency, right? There are a lot of different ways to get to Nevada State Police, and that's something that you did. You retired, and you came back. Why?
And you know what? We can't do it without having that support at home. I'll tell you, having our wives, the things they have to do. Sometimes I used to work rural areas, so we'd get calls at 2 or 3 in the morning for a rollover accident or whatever. We'd have to go out. And it's just not me getting up. It's my wife also. You know what I mean? Because you got to get ready and get out there. And also there's times that with our kids growing up, they have to go through the same thing with us too, because sometimes you want to make it to that birthday party or something else, and you got a tragic accident or something else that happened while you're working, and you might not be able to get there, or you're late to it. So sometimes you miss out on some of that stuff. But when it comes down to the bottom line, you feel really good because you're actually doing something for society. You're actually out there assisting people at their worst times. And I can tell you, coming in contact with a lot of people over the years, they're glad that we're there. I mean, we're the face that they see when they have that medical emergency, and we're able to provide that medical attention to them, get somebody coming out and keep them calm and take care of their kids if they're involved also. So it plays a big part. But one of the things coming back as a critical fill with the family atmosphere is everybody supports everybody. Like you went to the ceremony, Neil, this last one we have, and you stated that they gave flowers. They're letting the wives know that our department supports not only the trooper that works for them, but your family is our family, and we pull you all together as one. And they treat everybody with respect, and everybody is loved within our organization. And we're just not a number, and that's the main thing. One thing good about Nevada State Police is everybody is treated as an individual and their families, and we're just not a number on the radio. Everybody has respect for each other.
And for you, Officer McClarty, you know, parole and probation, right? We've had this conversation that sometimes you see people at their worst times, that you have to make them feel good and all this, but you have a life too. You're a human being. And so, you know, you go out and you go home and you spend time, and, you know, you take off your uniform, and then you're not Officer McClarty at that moment. And so when the children are sick or anything like this, but at the end of the day, no matter what happens, you put on that uniform because you know that you're trying to help someone that day. And that if you're not out there trying to help someone, that, you know, there's a possibility that things might not go well for that person or that family or whatever. And so when you go into someone's house, you're entering into their domicile. And so the scaredness, and, you know, that I would feel, right? Because you're like, what's around the corner over here, right? But the thing is that you do it with the most respect for the person that you're trying to talk to, because you're trying to change their life. Even though they may have made a wrong choice, it doesn't mean that they're a bad person. And so that's something that you do every day. Why?
Well, yeah, I could relate this to recruiting, but I'll start with this specific division. Pro probation, our mission is to reshape somebody's life. We don't have a prejudgment of what they did. We know what they did, obviously, with the charge that they received and the sentencing that they got. But we go into somebody's house with the mindset of, what can I do to make this person better, right? And we have options. We have what we call, sanctions, is whatever you want to call it. We have things that we can do to provide them with the avenue and the direction to put them in a different, hopefully in a different part of their life of better or good, right? Whether we get them into counseling, so maybe speaking to somebody's going to help them out with whatever problems that they may have, maybe helping them get a job, find a job that has in the past hired felons at the time, or even housing, because sometimes we supervise somebody that doesn't have housing. So we help them in every aspect that they end up with. And me personally, my goal is to not see that person again. And what I mean by that is on supervision, right? Obviously, if I see them out in civilian attire, I'm going to say hi, because that's just the type of person I am. I'm not afraid of anything. I'm a human being, so are they. I'm not going to ignore somebody because they're on supervision. That's not how I, carry myself. But I don't want to see them on supervision again, and that's our whole division is like that. We have tools for them. It's their decision to use them, but they're there, and that's our job to make sure they don't come back.
And that's what's cool, is that if somebody made a wrong choice, that you just don't put them out, not to say out on the streets, but like out with nothing. That there's you and the entire division that care. And so when it talks to recruitment, okay, talk to us about the different divisions that someone can join if they want to be with the Nevada State Police.
Absolutely. So just coming in as a cadet, most agencies, you don't get really a choice of where you get to go, right? You go to our local agencies, you're going to be a specific type of officer. And it might be a number of years before you're able to move. Here at Nevada State Police, we have different divisions. You don't get to start off directly into all of them, but parole and probation is one that you can get into. Highway patrol is another one that you can start off in. And then after 2 years, you're eligible to transfer. So if you picked something that maybe, you decided, hey, I want to try something else, you got an options. And after 2 years, you're eligible to transfer into Capitol Police, Nevada Department of Investigations, Fire Marshal, Dignitary Protection. So there's a lot of options. And this career is potentially long. So having those options to fulfill that entire career that you have, extends your drive, your wantingness of doing things.
So you don't get burned out.
Right.
Yeah. And one of the things that I want to take away from this episode of the Trooper Talk is when it comes to the critical fill and when it comes to the recruitment, it's very important. We had the nice people come on from the dispatch. We know we're trying to get some dispatchers right now, right?
Correct.
But in doing that, we also need as many troopers as we can that are trying to come up from the bottom, that are from the cadet standpoint, as well as any other type. So let's leave it with the fact of, when it comes to the badge, when it comes to you, the honor that you put on every day, what would you like to tell someone that is in your position why they want to come and hang out with you?
Well, it's all about duty, honor, and respect, and integrity. And to get a badge like this is something that's not given to anybody, it's earned. And once you earn that title, state trooper, or even with just Nevada State Police, it really has a deep meaning. Because you got to think, throughout the United States, there's only one state patrol or highway patrol in that entire state, and they represent the entire state. There's thousands of sheriff's departments, police agencies, and everything, but we're right at the top of the law enforcement. The only higher up other than us is federal government. So once you make that as a state trooper, it says something, and it's something that, like I said, is something that is earned and not given. And you work for it, and you appreciate it, and there's a lot of honor that goes behind this badge.
And to add to that, We represent the entire state of Nevada, but we also represent Las Vegas too, being stationed here. So you have the ability to not only represent your city, but your state too. And not a lot of agencies get that.
And we love the front office.
Absolutely.
You know what
They're
I'm saying?
hard workers that
Listen,
get unknown.
I went by there. We love them. We always want to give a shout out to them and stuff like that. Gentlemen, thanks so much. We appreciate you coming on today, and we'll talk very soon. Okay.
Thank you, Neil.
All right,
Appreciate you.
All right. See you later.
Bye, everybody.